Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today unfortunately we got some sad news, sad situation. Eric got to accident. He was on moto and the other guy was on the car, on BMW. So Eric was going early morning to do some things, and then while he was coming back, thanks God he was not driving pretty fast. While he was driving, the guy from the right side decided to turn to the left without showing the signs, like blinking signs. And then, of course, what happened? Eric started braking, and still he got into the back side of this BMW. Nui. I started speaking my language. Got into the back door as well. So of course he scratched, and unfortunately sad situation, and he couldn't handle the motorcycle because it's really heavy, so he fell down and unfortunately scratched his elbow and then leg and so on. But anyways, thanks God nothing really serious happened. So if it would, we had to go to the doctor, but nothing serious happened. So the situation is like that. The driver of BMW got out, he stopped, got out, and start, let's say, pushing the situation on Eric, that Eric was driving fast, that's why it happened. But it's good that in Brazil, moto drivers like a family. So other guys who were driving close to Eric, they stopped, and they were as a witnesses in this situation, and they helped to Eric to get up, first of all. Second of all as well, they of course start answering back to this driver of BMW that it was, first of all, you are the one who broke the rules. You decide to turn from the right side, from right lane to the left, and plus you were not showing even signs. And then you are, sorry, here is a lot of mosquitoes because it's too hot in Foz, so everywhere, the windows, everything is open. Yeah, and they said if he would be driving fast, by hitting your car, he would make jump over your car, but it didn't happen that way. Yes, Eric hit the car and fall down because of the weight of motorcycle. He injured his leg, scratched badly. However, yeah, this guy started what I'm gonna do now with the door of my car, I just changed it and blah blah blah. And Eric said, but do you have insurance? And the guy said, no, I don't. And so whose problem is that you don't have insurance, right? Especially having very very expensive car, right? So however, yeah, so the guy just sit in the car and left. They didn't call police, because for sure if he knew that the fault is not his, let's say that it was fault of Eric, for sure he would stay and he would call police, and of course we would need to pay the things for scratches of his door and all those things. But he left, yeah. And then because Eric was in the shocking mode, these things doesn't happen. These things don't happen to you every single day. So he kind of, he just drove home. They didn't call police. Eric just took a picture of the number of the car of the guy, and he just got back home. And of course, the good ideas most of the time come afterwards, after you already relaxed and you think and meditate on the situation. We do have insurance for our motorcycle, but the situation is like that. And maybe for you it's gonna be as well a good lesson to pay attention to. When we had our smaller motorcycle, we had regular insurance. And once we got this one, Eric upgrade insurance. And so let's say once he was reading things, let's say what's included in this insurance, one of the things it was written car accidents, let's say psychological help, and the whole list of things. And of course when you're reading you think that it's, let's say, um, these things are about you. If you got, so let's say insurance, because you're the one who is paying, insurance will pay to you. But here is the situation. So he called to the lady who is in charge for these things, and then she explained, in your situation, insurance will not pay anything. Why? Because you hit the car. But Eric said, like, but it's not my fault. It's fault of the guy. And then she said, it doesn't matter. It's fault of the guy or not. It's still, let's say, you hit the car. It's first thing. So he said, so what's written in insurance, like about car accidents and so on, so it means it's not true. He said, no, if, let's say, someone else would hit you, we would cover. In your situation, it's not. And what, let's say, they would cover if in case Eric would hit the guy and it would be Eric's fault. So in that case, let's say this guy, this driver of BMW would tell him to pay for the scratch and so on. In this case, insurance would cover some like particular amount. And of course, for us, it's sad story, sad situation. I mean, now I'm talking with a smile because we already kind of like calm down about the situation, like what we can do. But for you, it can be a lesson as well, that if you're reading the policy of insurance, you need to ask many questions, because it can be surprise. So even though it's not your fault, yes, you're the one who hit, but it's gonna be your problem. And then of course Eric was asking thousands of questions to her, like about and how, what is now. And she said, now you can find this guy and you can call police and but it's still gonna be on our shoulders. We have to pay for this situation, and nothing they can do, unfortunately. Yeah, and yeah, so this is pretty sad. It's a lesson for us, a lesson for you. What else? Yeah, I'm gonna show you now like what happened to Eric, and I'm gonna show you later what happened to the motorcycle. So this is what happened to Eric's leg, you see, and here as well, and some things on elbow. I mean, it's not that bad here, like thanks God, so it's only a few small things. Yeah, and here, and you see it's like a little bit like inflated swelling. Yeah, so it could be worse, but thanks God everything is fine. Eric is all right. I mean, let's see how it's gonna be with the leg. If he's gonna be worse, tomorrow we're gonna go to the doctor. But at this moment, everything is all right, and Eric is feeling okay. We just like wash, clean it up, and like put some antiseptic, so everything is fine. Sorry, I'm working, so I had a few minutes time to tell you the story. Yeah, so the lesson here, the first lesson you understood about insurance. Second lesson, I always tell everyone, from my family to myself as well, because I'm a driver. I don't drive here in Brazil, but back in Ukraine I was driving the car. And I always say that it doesn't matter how good you are, how great you are as a driver, there are still a lot of people around you. And unfortunately, some people, drivers, doesn't matter, pedestrians, motor drivers, like bicycle drivers, some of them take wrong decisions. And unfortunately, there are some really bad situations happen. Some people lose their lives because of stupid actions of other people. So, as I say, as much as possible, keep the distance, be alert. So, like, be very careful while you are driving. It's let's say, the biggest lesson for me, because unfortunately, the life is very fragile, and you can cause the problem not only for yourself, but as you see, to another people as well. So in this case, only scratches and scratches of motorcycle, and of course, Eric is gonna bring this motorcycle to Yamaha, and we'll see what Yamaha is gonna say, if they can fix it or what's gonna be, and how much we need to pay for that. But I'm pretty sure that it's not really cheap. So this is what happened after the hit. So here's the front line, it's out, and here's like very deep scratches. You can see here is the scratch, here as well. So all this one's scratched and out, you see. And then here it's pretty deep and it looks like cracked, this plastic. And then here as well, it's all broken. So Eric is gonna bring it to Yamaha, and let's see what they're gonna say, if they can fix all this stuff. I remember the situation from the ship. I just wanted to tell you, like, as the example about the insurance. So I've been working on the cruise ship, and I was a worker of the restaurant, and the company was giving us to use safety shoes. So let's say it was a must to use, but because those safety shoes were like, they were impossible to use, they were really heavy and very uncomfortable, like 99.9% of crew never use them. We were buying for ourselves like nice comfortable shoes, because if you work 10-12 hours per day, so you need to have a good shoes. However, if there were situations like, let's say you fall down in the kitchen, or something happened, let's say, or you got in the revolving door. There is in the restaurant, let's say, once you are entering restaurant from the kitchen, there is the door like with 3 sections, which is all the time like spinning. And if you didn't get in the right rhythm of the door inside, so you're getting like, you know, like this, like a mess. And of course, you can really hurt yourself. So when situations were happening like that, what insurance was saying right away: do not pay insurance. So you were not using safety shoes, that's it, like that's it, nothing we can do. And and another situation we had as well, like there was Indonesian guy, like very young one, it was I think his second contract, and then he was carrying oxygen, you know, like specific called balloon, I'm not sure, like the specific thing which is carrying the oxygen, and another guy who was putting the oxygen in this metal thing. So he didn't close it properly, and while this guy, this Indonesian, was carrying it, I think it like a bit open and so on, and it got exploded, and unfortunately the body of this Indonesian guy also exploded and he died. So how much how much company paid to the family for the life of this death toll of this guy? $7,000, just for you understand how cheap the life is for big companies. And yeah, here is the thing, that we need to take care of ourselves as much as possible. Guys, life is so fragile. Yeah, this is the lesson, and this is sad part, but the good part that everyone is alive. Thanks God for that. So I'll see you in the next video. You have a great day. Bye bye.